Hello, welcome to another episode of Bushcraft Dave, out on a big walk. I'm just in the small village called Sterndale, and I'm heading off today to do 4 more Ethels. This hopefully is going to be pretty spectacular views if the weather holds. As you can see from sunglasses on, it is really sunny, but with hat on, many layers, it's freezing cold. So the first hill that I'm heading to is called Parkhouse Hill, and it's the beginning of what is known as the Dragonback. So I shall be shortly leaving the village of Sterndale and heading up onto Parkhouse Hill. Thanks for joining. Let's head out on some cold adventures. Top of Parkhouse Hill. I think that's one of the peaks I'm going to on another trip. I mean, you can see lots of little peaks now, but definitely my next one, Rome Hill. I'm being pelted by hailstones. It's horrible. Pinging on my face. That's my next one. Well, I've just finished up and down of Parkhouse Hill at 360 metres, and now we're heading up here. Now this bit is a full summit. I'm going up to 425 metres, and I've just passed a couple of ladies who've been up to the top of Crome Hill, and they've said up the top it's difficult, it's windy, people ain't really going up to the peak of it, so they went up and came back down. They didn't manage to get it all done, so I'm going to be sensible. We'll see what it's like when I get up there. I might circumnavigate round the side, but we'll see what happens. Last time I was here, and I did Crome Hill, it was with Mrs. Bushcraft Dave. It was one of the earliest videos we did, and I climbed to the top, carrying in my rucksack, a full trangier, a wok to make a Chinese chicken chow mein. This time I'm travelling very light. I've got my waterproofs, I've got a flapjack. That's all I've got. Let's get up to the top. ridges are in sight in front of me there. One just to the left and the other one just to the right. And then behind me, Parkhouse Hill, Dragonback. It's windy. Okay, water, flapjack, and number 3. I've just taken some brief shelter near this cave. The wind was kicking my backside up there, like trying to force me down the hill or off the side of the hill. Oh, to be fair, that walk up to the top of Crome Hill, whilst it were a windy day, I think actually I found that walk more comfortable than the last time I did it. Maybe because I'm carrying less weight. Maybe in general I'm a bit fitter, I don't know. But right now I'm just taking a break. I've had some water. I've got a lovely Dorset cherry Bakewell flapjack to have to fuel me up. I've got 2 more hills to go. Yeah, we'll head on to the next one as soon as I've had a rest. Well, and I mean that isn't the peak, but I've got down from the top of Crome Hill. Everything's really sort of all the ground's really loose, like the stones are not really horizontal as you step onto them, they're at a bit of an angle and relatively slippy, and then there's kind of mud either side of it, so it's not great walking conditions particularly, but that's the bottom of peak number 2, and we now head to our next peak, which is there, Hollins Hill. 451 metres the peak there, so actually we're stepping up every time. But interestingly, I think because with this one we got up to 425 and we haven't really come down that much. I'm heading across the valley and then heading up to the top of the peak, so we're not really coming down loads. I'm still gonna have a fair bit of a climb to get to the top of it. It's not shallow, is it? But yeah, 451 the next one. And then the 4th and final peak, when we get to it, is even higher. Let's get going. I've got it wrong. I don't think it's that peak. We'll soon find out. I'm actually heading up this hill, which I remember from last time we did this walk. Well, not that we didn't quite do the same walk, but after having done Crome Hill, then having to get up this, basically, it looks like it's flat, but it ain't, and there's no footholds. While I get a bit of a break from the breeze and the storm. The peak I needed to go to was that one. It took me round the valley from Dragonback, from Parkhouse Hill and Crome Hill, back round the back side of it and up onto it that way. So the final peak of today, High Neb, 472 metres. I don't think we're very far off it at all. Having just come back down off Hollins Hill, just down the lane a little bit up. Yeah, I don't think we've got far to go. And there should be some cool stuff to see when we get there. just been reading, it's not called High Neb, it's called High Edge. There's maybe another one somewhere else called High Neb. High Edge. In the background is now the home of Buxton Raceway. You can go racing cars and stuff, pretty exciting. But on the top of the hill, let me just turn the camera around. On the top of the hill are some World War II machine gun pillboxes, which we should also have a look at while we're here. It'd be rude to not go in. Oh, it's too tight for me to get through. God, they must have been thin, them soldiers. Now you may be asking yourself, why, Bushcraft Dave, are there some military pillboxes on the top of High Edge? That's a great question, thank you for asking. Well, the reason that there's two military pillboxes at the top of that, and I'm assuming in the area around it there'd be a few others, is that just to the north side of it, in the Second World War, was a place called RAF Harper Hill, and that was where there was the largest underground store of ammunitions in the whole country during the Second World War. So there must have been loads manufactured, brought, stored and kept safe for redistribution should we need it. But yeah, there we go. High Edge, the fourth of my peaks today. We've learnt a little bit of history about RAF Harper Hill. We're walking and we're learning, aren't we? So I've done my 4 peaks: Parkhouse Hill, Chrome Hill, Hollins Hill and High Edge. 4 Ethels done today. And I've probably got about 1.5 miles, 2 miles left to get back to the car. I'm not feeling too tired, I'm feeling pretty good. Got a bit of a headache because I've not drunk enough water, but when I get back to camp tonight, I'll soon sort that out. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you found the journey interesting today. Come and join me for another adventure, another camp, another cook at some point in the future. Make sure, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can see what stuff's coming next. But other than that, thank you so much for joining me, and we'll see you in the next one. So the first hill that I'm heading to is called Parkhouse Hill. I think it's called Parkhouse Hill. I'll check in a bit. If it is, Liv, edit that bit, that's all cool.